What's going on? Welcome back to the shoe. I'm Jameson Yanish, and today we're going to be talking about how the Colts just beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-24 in a pretty fun game, except for some injuries for the Colts, right? I think if Anthony Richardson walks out of this game healthy, we all feel a little bit better, obviously, right? And JT, Tyquan Lewis as well. I mean, dude, the injuries just keep piling up for the Colts. But yeah, welcome back, and we have good news this week, right? We won, but now we got the horrid news. We're going to Jacksonville next week, and we haven't freaking won there since 2014. 9 straight losses. Dude, I think we've been outscored, what was it? It was 200 and I want to say 78 points to 121. I could be slightly off, but it's like right in there, dude. So, dude, it's such a cursed week, but we'll get to that later this week. We're going to talk about Colts, a little bit of an upset over Pittsburgh, right? Dude, the first drive, we're going to go over all the good stuff first, boys, and then we're going to go to the bad stuff, and then kind of how we feel overall, right, towards the end. But, dude, the first drive, dude, I don't know about you guys, but I was so freaking just excited, bro. First play, 42 yards to Pittman, bro, on a little crossing, or a deep crossing route. I saw the freaking corner kind of sit down underneath it when AR threw it, and I was like, oh, shit, here we go again. But, dude, on a rope, maybe not the absolute safest throw, but he can make that throw, and that's a throw that Flacco can't make, and that's a throw that 95% of other quarterbacks in the NFL cannot make, and that's why we need to have optimism with AR. Anyways, we go down that first drive, literally a perfect drive. JT scores a touchdown, boom, feel good. Defense gets a stop, and then we're driving again, right, boys? AR looks great. He was 3 for 4 for 71 yards. I believe 3 rushes for 32. And, I mean, you can't really count that last rush, right? After he got hurt, came back in the second time. Offense looked good. Kind of picked up right where it was. Not exactly, but I mean, Flacco came in, did a great job. And, I mean, he's just precision, bro, which is, I mean, obvious, right? I mean, what, 18, 17 years in the NFL? I would hope so. But just kind of dink and dunk a little bit, right? His arm didn't seem like it was there. I mean, he had A.D. Mitchell, I believe, in the fourth quarter down the sideline. Underthrew him. But once again, he's 39 years old, and he came in, threw 2 touchdowns, had a pass rating of 105.7, I believe. You can't really ask much more out of a backup quarterback. So, happy with Flacco. JT got rolling. He looked a lot better when AR was in. I mean, that's going to be obvious, though, because then you got to watch AR's running ability. Pittman, dude, we got the freaking old Pittman back, right? Pittman's first time he's ever looked like freaking MPJ this season. What was it, 6 catches, 113 yards? Some shit like that. Dude, I mean, we haven't really seen, he was averaging 18 yards a catch. We haven't seen that Pittman really since Carson Wentz. And then that was kind of hit or miss, obviously, as well. So we got Pittman back. Downs is a freaking stud, dude. Our offense looks so much better with him just in there. And, that's going to help with the third down conversions because we were not good the first 2 games. Last week against Chicago, or the week before against Chicago, Downs was kind of working it back in, right? That's what I've heard, right? Kind of more of a decoy. He only had 32 yards that game. But, I mean, it was that third down, and I want to say 7 or 8, dude. Flacco hit him short, and he just completely cut back inside, juked out the cornerback, walked down the sideline, picked up the first, right? And that's what you're going to get from Downs, and you're not going to get that from a lot of other people, right, boys? But Josh Downs is just such a freaking weapon. And then we got Mitchell going in the run game a little bit. Dude, he's getting so much separation, even in this Pittsburgh game. We just need to get on the same page, run the right route, catch the football, dude, and he would probably be leading the NFL in receiving yards, honestly. AP was Alec Pierce was kind of quiet. But once again, I mean, it was just a dominant game from Pittman and Downs. So our offense looked good this game. It kind of slowed down in the middle of the game, and that's where everybody's like, yo, we want Flacco. Bullshit, dude. We marched up and down the field with AR against the number 1 defense, right? Dude, that's the other thing with Pittsburgh's defense. They allowed 26 points through the first 3 weeks. We put up 27, and that's even injured, right? As bad as we have been. So offense looked good, and with AR, it looked freaking great. It looked like we were gonna put up 50 today. I was really happy to see. It felt like he was making strides. I know it was only 4 passes, right? He kind of missed that gimme play, but I mean, dude, it's just going to be learning and growing. But if he can go 3 for 4 with 71 yards, I mean, I don't know what we're complaining about, right? I would love to see him stay healthy. Just slide, dude, get down. I know that was kind of awkward when he got hit in the hip, and you can't really slide there, but I guess needs to learn how to kind of absorb those hits, right? Not just lower your shoulder. Kind of learn how to take the hits, right? Make it softer on yourself. And then I know everyone's confused about this, and everybody's been arguing about it on Twitter, dude. But after 2 more plays and AR came back into the game, why the hell would you run a read option? That's what they're calling it, a read option. But it's clearly more of a quarterback design, right? You have the guards pulling. Dude, it's going to be 90% of the time AR is going to be taking that ball. And I just don't like that play call. And I know everybody's like, well, if he's on the field, then that's telling Shane Steichen that he's good to go. I mean, yes and no. But, dude, it's your franchise quarterback who just came out. Maybe take a play off. Let him throw the ball. Hand it off to JT. JT was gouging them at that point, right? But offense looked good. Scoring 27 points on the number 1 defense. I mean, I don't know what else we can really ask. Like I said, offense looked a lot better overall with Richardson in there. And, I mean, I just hope that he can play this next week, right? And then also JT at the end of the game came out with a high ankle sprain. They said it's mild. That is cause for concern because, I mean, most high ankle sprains, I mean, Josh Downs had one, right? His was more significant, but he missed, 6 weeks, right? And JT's been our MVP, and he looks like 2021 JT. I think 390 rushing yards through 4 weeks so far and 4 tutties. I mean, it's going to be no bueno if he can't go for a little while. I mean, honestly, if he sits out this week, we're playing in Jacksonville, dude. Like, that's a loss already. We'll get into the Jacksonville game later in this week. Excuse me. It did seem like a drop-off, obviously, though, right? I mean, Jonathan Taylor is a top 3 back in football, but it does seem like a pretty big drop-off without him in there, with Trey Sermon and Tyler Goodson. But offense looked good overall. TJ Watt, dude, 0 pressures on the day and 2 assisted tackles. So, I mean, you can't ask any more. Braden Smith, freaking dog. Will Fries, dog. Yeah, dude, our offensive line is back, too. That's why I'm just hoping JT's fine. Let's see. I'm just pulling up the stats right here. All right, let's hop into defense for a little bit here. I mean, obviously, first half, right, our defense looked pretty freaking good. Also, I don't know what was up with Najee Harris giving the double bird, walking out of the tunnel, but I probably wouldn't be doing that if you're going to average 1.9 per carry. It's not a good look, dude. I also love Zaire calling him out, dude. I love that. 84 runs harder. I fucking love that. Shout out to Zaire Franklin, EJ Speed. They look like themselves from last season. EJ's been on a tear, dude. Zaire, dude, with that big 4th and 1 stop on Justin Fields in the first quarter, just filling the hole, standing him up, not letting him get 6 inches for that first down was huge. Pass rush. Once again, that's kind of weird. I feel like our pass rush dies off in the second half, which doesn't really make sense because we're kind of putting teams, last 2 weeks at least, in a passing, like we know they're going to throw the football, and that's kind of when you want your guys to tee off. Latu, bro. He's in the backfield every single freaking play. And I think that when you don't have Justin Fields who's going to scramble out of the pocket, step over in the pocket, when you get more of a statue back there, I think you're going to start seeing more QB hits and sacks for sure. Because, dude, he was right there on Fields I want to say like 5 or 6 times today. Yeah, and I guess that brings me to that point that Taekwon Lewis is now on the IR as well. I think it is like a broken forearm, I want to say, or elbow, or it's something not good. Dude, our defense is taking a huge hit. But, like, let's just call it what it is. We had 5 starters out, right, Sunday, and to give up 3 in the first half is not, I can't complain about that. I can obviously complain about the second half, and Justin Fields having a career day, and the Steelers' offense not being good at all, not scoring more than 20 up to this last Sunday, and then scoring 24, right? I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a Gus Bradley problem. I've never been a huge fan of Gus Bradley. His scheme is fine if you have elite corners, right, who can sit on an island and play sound football, right? Jalen Jones didn't have his best week, but he had a huge pass breakup on the Steelers' final drive against George Pickens. But also Pickens was kind of doing whatever he wanted most of the game, right? So I'm just not a big fan of Gus Bradley. He is sending more blitzes this year, but I don't know, dude. I feel like he doesn't do a lot to help out the young talent on the team, right? And also, I mean, you can't completely put it on him. We've had so many freaking injuries. But Dio Dangbo, shout out to you. A sack and a half. What was it, like 6 or 7 pressures, dude? I feel like he's really coming on. Just need him to stay healthy. Need Latu to stay healthy. Pray to God Grover Stewart stays healthy. Raekwon Davis. We need... Just stay healthy, boys. Stay healthy, please. Blackman. Dog. Nick Cross, dude. Can we give a shout out to freaking Nick Cross, dude? He's been playing his ass off. Had that forced fumble, that weird fumble on the sideline with Pickens, but that's freaking huge because that would have been first and goal on the 4-yard line. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really have any high hopes for our defense like this year. You know what I'm saying? All the injuries, and it's also Gus Bradley still. I feel like we get into this thing where we attack early on, right? The last couple weeks, which is good and it's working. And then, as Gus Bradley always does, then we start playing back, playing off, and we just let them have everything underneath, which turns into chunk plays underneath. And then that's how Justin Fields ends up with 300 yards passing. And Caleb Williams as well, right? So I would like to see that change. But defense played about as good as they could have this game, honestly. Had held the run game in check, so I feel like that's a really good a good sign after the first 2 weeks. I mean, you have Justin Fields. We always struggle. We always struggle with mobile quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, obviously Jalen Hurts. Now Justin Fields. But Najee getting held to 1.9 per carry is huge. So I think we just need to try and carry that momentum, obviously, keep that going, because that's what our defense should be, right? We have so much money invested up front on both sides. Our offensive line is doing their job. Our defensive line for the first couple of weeks wasn't. And then we just need to get home in the fourth quarter. I see too many times, like on Sunday, pressure off the edges, Field steps up, makes a play. Can we talk about that freaking, I don't even remember what play it actually was, but the freaking play where Fields runs across the line of scrimmage by 2 yards, throws a dot, and it's like what the fuck is going on, right? Like, and then I don't know how you can just let a quarterback go past the line of scrimmage by 2 yards and then get a freaking 40-yard chunk play out of it. That's just unacceptable. So I don't know what the officiating was doing. I also saw a bunch of Steelers players, Big Ben, James Harrison, coming out saying that the refs were on our side. That's not true at all. AR got popped in the helmet. Dude, sliding, no flag. We got a sack, routine sack, 15-yard penalty. I mean, dude, like, come on, bro. Justin Fields running past the line of scrimmage, 3 yards. Whatever, I guess. But that's honestly a huge win for us, boys. Now we're at 2-2. And like I said, looking forward now, you can't ever count a win in Jacksonville, but they're also 0-4, right? And then we have Tennessee after that, and then Miami with probably more than likely no Tua, right? So we could be 5-2 going into Houston. We just need to play how we have and came out how we have. playing physical, punching them in the mouth in the first quarter, jump on them. And we need AR and JT to stay healthy. So I think Pittman and Downs are going to be here to stay now, right? Which is good. Both healthy, finally. And yeah, boys. So, like I said, let me know down below your thoughts on everything. I want to get like a little studio going, honestly, with all my Colts shit. I have way too much. But when we finally move and get our own place or whatever, then I'd love to do that. You know what I'm saying? Little gaming room for the streams. Little podcast, Colts talk, football talk, background. That'd be sick. But if you're still here, appreciate you. Let me know down below how you guys are feeling. Yeah. Peace.